Yeah, I know. We're just now getting back into the swing of things. All right, we're live again. We're alive. Dave's alive. He's not asleep.
Yeah,
we're back.
Not yet. I wasn't sleeping, for the record. I was looking down.
It's been what, 3 weeks since you've been on?
Has
2
it
weeks.
been that long?
It's been 2 weeks.
2.
Yeah, because we had to miss one for unexpected emergencies, and then we had to. Last week was Raz, and you couldn't be on. Oh, Michael Fay, Bib Tarpey. Did you see that comment?
What,
did you see that post? Yeah, about his name. Did you see
Bib Bob?
Did you see Squatch's comment on that though?
I did.
Dude, I cried laughing. I was sitting there at my desk and I saw that and I just started crying laughing. My secretary goes, "What's going on there?" I said, "Oh, because they're talking about someone having COVID, her and another guy," and I just bust out laughing at this comment. And calm down, Bib. Oh, I was crying for some odd reason or another.
Shoot.
Man,
Yeah,
we are getting blown up on here. Greg Boggs, John Ardino, Rockin' Robin's champion team, Chris Papatolis, Sean, Rich, Robin, Jim, Ron, Dean, Dave, Rodney,
Papa Joe.
Man, we got the whole crew on here now. The entire East Coast showed up here tonight. Sean, drive safe, man. Yeah, give a shout out to Chick-fil-A for this, bringing us this episode.
Yeah, we're brought to you today by Chick-fil-A.
Brought to you by Bark Street Beer and Chick-fil-A.
Give me some
light ice
fries.
Who are we brought to you by, Dave?
We are brought to you by Boost Your Barbecue.
BoostYourBarbecue.com.
Check them out for all your barbecue needs. He actually got some of his, I think they're his own signature rubs that he's been making. I should have got it. I bought it already. He's got that pickle rub. I've already talked about that. That's slamming. I seen one today. Was it a Chipotle Ranch or something?
He's got a Chipotle Ranch, and then he just sent me his Jamaican jerk one. I placed an order for some Killer Hog stuff and some of those cutting boards, and he sent me the Jamaican rub. I was going to bring it down here, but I completely forgot to get it. It's right over here in the other room. But that stuff. I'm excited to try that stuff on there. Yeah,
like we said, Greg made them wings the last time and they were slamming. I've told people about the rub. They're just like, I guess it's the thing that you gotta want pickles. I just like dill pickles, so.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Call me weird, but I like it.
Dude, I saw this thing where you put taco mix in a pickle jar. Oh, I'm kind of interested to try that one. Sean Rapolo posted that today.
That sounds interesting.
They're called tickles.
What?
Yeah, taco tickles.
Yeah, I gotta try that.
Yeah,
I want to give a big shout out to Big Jim Hudgens Steak and More Rub.
Yes, this stuff right here, man. We got to give this bottle away here tonight too.
As long as you're sure,
we should.
I'm horrible.
Yeah, well, ask Angel Todd. I'm pretty bad at it too. 3 months later, she gets her thermo pop.
Man. I hear you, but yeah, check out Big Jim's rubs. We both use them. Good stuff.
But and then also shout out to Barbecue Beast.
Yes.
Our ladies over there at Barbecue Beast. So we've got some pretty cool guests on here tonight. And we're really excited to have them on. We're going to talk a little bit about SCA, talk a little bit about KCBS, talk a little bit about everything here tonight with our guests on here. And out of Ocean City, Maryland, we've got AnonymousQ, Susan and Rick Manzi. What's going on, guys?
Hey, good evening, guys.
How y'all doing?
Any better, I'd be Jake or Dave.
Phew, living the dream, baby, living the dream.
Oh, man. Well, thanks for coming on here, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Absolutely.
Our pleasure.
Yeah. So, we'll get started in here, man. You guys, you've done a lot of cooking here. You've gotten really big in the SCA here recently. Congratulations on the Arkassippi team membership. And but you got Rick. At least you've been around for quite a while behind the scenes on some KCBS stuff. Why don't you tell us how you got into barbecue?
Yeah. So thank you, Jake. It started 2016. I was like most of us, we just try to have balance in our life, right? So what's that thing you want to do, that one thing you want to do that makes you happy? So Sue bought me a big green egg, and I think it was 2016 for Father's Day. The food I cooked on it was god awful, and all I kept doing was adding more rub, more wood. And actually, by the time you got done eating it, it was like smoking a cigar and eating a pork butt. So it was god awful. So Sue looked at me and she said, "Hon, if your food's going to be like this, you better take a class." So I took Dan's class, 3 Eyes class in Edgewater, and certainly from there the food got better. And I just loved cooking. It was my release, quite honestly. Even on the deck, we did backyard. We did the barbecue battle with my friend Jack and Bill. In DC. That was the first comp we ever did. And then I was always intrigued. And at one point, I ended up calling Dan and I said, "Hey, Dan," I said, "you need any help?" I says, I want to be part of a barbecue team. So Dan and myself talked. And at the time, Rick stepped away from it. And certainly I came on board with Dan. And then, Kyle joined us. And from there, to be honest with you, it was an incredible experience. I mean, for those locally who know Dan, certainly, top-notch team of the year. Hats off to him. As far as I'm concerned, one of the best there is in barbecue. When it comes to process, when it comes to executing process, I was quite fortunate because I got to be with him for 2 years. So from that, when Dan announced that he was going to retire, me and Sue loved it so much. KCBS, Sue would certainly, help out with all the preparation on our end, injections, sauces, and marinades and all that type of stuff. Run around for us, always made sure we had a goodie bag, enough food. You know how it is when you compete, especially if you had a double. There was a ton of food Sue would always make. And really from that, we just enjoyed being outdoors, KCBS family, and we just loved it. And there's so many good people with KCBS. You look at Childs, you look at Urkel, all the local folks are always, that is just so supportive. On top of me being a part of 3 Eyes at one point. So when he retired, we looked at each other and said, "Hey, we enjoy this. Let's do 6 to 10 comps a year." So lo and behold, I was at a business meeting in Florida, Orlando Airport, and Steve posted his J3 Jambo that was like a year old. So I think I bought it walking down the walkway there from him. And then from that, we decided to do 6 or 8 comps in 2019. So obviously we know what happened in 2019. We managed Spring Grove. We made out very well. God bless Sue. She was in the back of a U-Haul at 97 degrees. You all know you were there too. It was honestly, I was the one complaining, not Sue. I got to be honest with you. I was not. He wasn't complaining. I was. But so we did the Jambo thing. We were next to Luke, and we had South Bowie Smokers, Togus and crew there, and just everybody. 60 teams there. It was phenomenal, and it was our first go at it. So lo and behold, we were very fortunate. 4th place ribs, 10th place pork. We tied with Big Raz, not the little Raz, who's on our call, who we love in SCA, in brisket. So we all tied for 10th, 11th, and 12th. So in essence, we almost got 3 top 10 calls. We finished 8th overall out of 59 teams. So we were super pumped, super stoked. And, because you think about it, we went from cooking on a Jambo, right, a competitor, backwards. From a backwards to a Jambo. And obviously there's quite the difference there. But there's a lot of misconceptions about Jambos other than they cook great food. They're very easy to control.
Oh, they are.
There's no stress. You don't have to worry about the guru. It's a quarter split every 45 minutes, 35 minutes, depending where you're cooking. But from there, we actually did the SCA event that night and came in 6th place. So, we were all excited and pumped to do barbecue. And then lo and behold, the competitions kept getting canceled. So Sue and myself looked at each other and said, this SCA thing was pretty cool. We came in 6th, and I think I told the story on John's podcast. When we did Fredericksburg double, I came in 4th in the first time doing SCA, and I said, "This is easy." Did the next one and came in there dead last, so it wasn't so easy. So through that, we really took hold of SCA and the SCA family, and you really look at this area this year and everything that Keith has done, and the SCA Ken and Brent is just phenomenal, and we really enjoy it. We really enjoy socializing. The family's incredible. When you say family, I hate to say this because I might have some family on the call. The SCA family is just important to me as my own family. It's, and we all know that. We experience it weekend in, weekend out. And that's the thing we truly love about it, quite honestly, guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure, man. Well, that's awesome. So I got to ask, you went from competing, I know Dan, Dave Goss, all those guys, everyone but Kyle is big on the backwoods. What made you go with a Jambo over a backwoods? Because you don't see a lot of Jambos up here at competitions, at least in the Mid-Atlantic. They're more out west, sometimes a little bit more south. What made you go the Jambo over something like a backwoods, or we'll give Kyle the benefit of a doubt, a 270?
Well, actually, I took Tuffy Stone's class down in Virginia, which was phenomenal. In addition to that, I flew to Oklahoma with Dan actually to take Travis Clark's class. So I was just intrigued by the Jambo, so in the back of my mind, I said, I got to have one of those one day, to compete. But, the backwoods is a great smoker, two different smokers. Obviously, that's a water cabinet smoker, fully insulated versus a Jambo. But the flavor to me is certainly a tad different. I might have some people who disagree. That's just my personal opinion. When you're cooking with splits, it just tastes different. And the same thing even with the drum. We do use a drum too, obviously, to do some stuff on that too, a gateway.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So was it hard to switch over from running a Jambo to running from running a backwoods to a Jambo? Because I know one thing I've learned from Kyle off of some cliff notes of what Dan's taught him, is timeline. How did you have to adjust your timeline for going to a Jambo versus the backwoods? You've said about the split every 45 minutes. How does it cook differently than that? Yeah. You're the first person we've had on with a Jambo, by the way, to my knowledge. I think Charles has one, but I don't think he uses it regularly.
Yep. Yeah. So the biggest difference for me was, honestly, I took classes with folks as Travis and certainly Tuffy who had Jambos. Corey Mikes, Barbecue Champs Academy. I took that class, and Corey Mikes is so detailed. Yep. It's even down to placement. So I was familiar with the timelines, right? So we used to cook with 3 Eyes. We used to cook our big meats hot and fast, and then we used to cook obviously chicken and ribs slower and build the temperature and work the timeline. So you had your basic timeline. It was more about where to put what on the Jambo, actually, Jake, right? Because you have this cooking space. You start off your brisket, at least I do, top shelf. You got to spin it or you'll burn it. Every 15 minutes, it's probably 425 up top. Drop it down. No way to put your pork butts. So it really wasn't a big change, but Corey Mike's class and Barbecue Champ certainly helped me out. And I'm not ashamed to say it because, it's the big deal. You take a class in person or you take it online. To me, if you take it online, we could talk about SCA and all the great classes with John Lindsay, Matt Overson, Terry Rohn, and that group. But to me, to watch it over and over, and you pick up something new every time. I bet you Mike Steele probably wants to charge me double for watching John Lindsay's class. I guarantee I watched John Lindsay's class at least 400 times. So,
I bet we're close to that one. I mean, obviously, you got better results than I do, so you might probably watch him more than I have.
Yeah, you got to keep watching it. It's the accent he has that throws you off, not like my accent, but you keep watching it. You pick up those little details. And truthfully, you don't have to pay for hotel. You don't have to pay for flight like I did to Oklahoma. So really that really helped me the most, not only in KCBS, but certainly SCA.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So, how does it for you getting into it with Rick and, helping out and doing the thing? I mean, we see you everywhere and it's great. Has it been as cool for you as it is him?
Yes, absolutely. I love supporting my husband. I have such a great time. The SCA family is the best, and I enjoy it so much. I really do.
Yeah, David. The truth.
Let me make sure Jenna's watching. Hold on a second.
The truth of the matter is, as I mentioned, I couldn't do what I do, not only in my everyday life, but certainly in competition, whether it was with 3 Eyes, whether it was what we were looking to do with KCBS, and even now with SCA. I mean, Sue, she's so instrumental. First of all, she's so supportive. That's number one, right? So any good relationship, you have to be supportive of each other. That's first and foremost before you do anything else, right? Honestly, before you get married, you should really do that. Right. But at the end of the day, she's been so supportive in so many ways, and together we really enjoy this. And it makes it fun. I said it a couple of weeks ago, really the goals are, number one, to have fun. And with SCA, I have to tell you, I have a ton of fun. The second thing was to win a golden ticket early, and we were fortunate enough to do it. The third was to be consistent. And really, as I said a couple of weeks ago, it was really to have the opportunity to be on Team Arkassippi, because not only do I use their products, and the products are phenomenal. I know there's a lot of good products out there. It's just what I prefer to use. And had success with them. But the people involved with Team Arkassippi, from John, Ronald, Melissa, Clint, Sadie, Darby. I feel like, honestly, I met him at the Worlds, but I felt like, honestly, I've been friends with them for 15 years. Not to mention the Jim Hudgens, right? Jim was up here, right, in Pennsylvania. I mean, it was like a wealth of knowledge. I just shut up and just listened to him, and the things that Jim Hudgens showed me were phenomenal. Andy and Trevor Williams, they were in West Virginia, and he was trying to help me with the M16, giving me some pointers, right? So you look at a lot of, even Caitlin Crane, I messaged her how to lay a Jim Hudgens rub with the Arkassippi combo. She got right back to me. So, and I haven't met most of the group, but just online, and truthfully, it's just to be part of that group I'm truly honored. Sue's truly honored. We are honored, and to be part of the SCA family, it just makes it so enjoyable. It's fun what we do.
Well, everyone absolutely loves you two. I mean, you guys are getting blown up here in the comments. I don't know if you can see them or not on your screen, but like, we've got everything like, no lie, Susan's the nicest person I've ever met at a competition. Hands down, so polite. Sue's the sweetest lady, always smiling. Sue is the SCA sweetie. Sue, you need to cook soon. You guys are the best neighbors. Great folks right there. I mean, it's from people all over. It's just you two are just wonderful people to be around.
Well,
thank you.
Jake, are there any comments about my haircut?
Nah.
No, but we're truly blessed. We're blessed. We respect each other. We love each other. We support each other. And really, it's, a lot of people actually ask me, even at work, is your wife always that happy? What you see is what you get. I'm blessed. And I say that, I truly mean it.
That's good. So a few comments did pop up in here. Sue, are you ever going to cook?
Eventually, yes, I will. Right now, I love supporting Rick. I love being part of the team, just helping in any way that I can. And eventually, I probably will.
Dave, don't encourage her. It'll be another competitor I have to worry about.
I mean, you got the Hayes family, and they're out there and they're doing their thing. You got the Garretts, and they do their stuff. It's just, you're there. You might as well cook. The way I look at it.
Yeah. Speaking of the Hayes, Fred said he loves your haircut, by the way.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Ditto.
Oh, man.
I probably will start cooking probably towards fall. I would. The end of summer, beginning of fall.
That's good.
What are the odds that you both get golden tickets and go to Texas, though?
Oh, that would be awesome.
She's a better cook than me, guys. I can't lie to you.
All right, here we go. AnonymousQ and Rockin' Robbins, two of the ones we need to get, and the Haynes.
Jake, truthfully, the ironic part is, and I'll tell you this quick, and this is just last year when we won our golden ticket, it was at Lafayette, and I think it was November 7th. I think it was. It was a beautiful day, and
my birthday too.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Dave.
Yeah,
but no, I drew my color, my ticket. I was number 23, of course. It was last year. It was either Rodney was in front of me or in back of me. Same thing with Dr. Pearl. We always at the back of the line. And I remember I had red ticket 23, and the stakes they were okay. And I had a fifth place on my first stake as far as selection. So I came back, and the golden ticket thing was great, but to know how we got there is the person that's sitting right next to me. I was working on my second stake, looking to pull at the temp. All of a sudden, the temperature shot up. I'm taking 3 different areas. I'm getting all these weird 151, 147. I'm freaking out.
Would have been a wreck.
It's not the best stake. It was really awful, right? And Sue looks at me with a smile, looks in my eyes, and said, "Babe, just focus and do what you know how to do. Follow your process. Throw it back on."
I told him, I said, put it back on the grill.
Because then when I took it off, the temperature came down. She said, "Rick, throw it back on the grill." And I'm like, "I'm not doing that." She goes, "Calm down." I did it. I let it sit. I pulled it at the temperature we wanted. Lo and behold, when they were going through the awards, stake A, we happened to get 3rd place. I looked at Sue and I said, "Well, babe, you know what? We're going up against a tough group as always. You got the Garretts, you got the Haynes, you got New Jersey Steak Mob. You have all these competitors. We came in 3rd. We had a good showing this weekend.
We were happy.
Right. You got a little bit of cash.
Little bit of cash. And then, as soon as they got to number 5 of Stake B, I'm like, well, it was a good weekend.
It's over.
It's over. And then when they announced 0537, I still remember the number, like the caliber of handgun.
We were shocked.
I go, 357, that's me. So the moral of the story is, truthfully, follow the process, and really, more importantly, listen to your wife, because she got me a golden ticket.
And never give up.
That's right. That's right.
Definitely.
So,
definitely.
you cooking you said you're about the different temperatures and 3 different zones and all. Do you put a dot, like a small probe, in the bottom of it at all, or did you not do that then?
I did it. I got away from it. I didn't like it. I went away from it, and now I do it again.
Okay, because I just started doing that again, so we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. I just started doing that, man. That changed. Like, my doneness scores went up 2 points last week since I started, or 2 weeks ago since I started doing that. And I was wondering, what are your secret here of making sure everything hitting in the same spots every time? Because I couldn't do that, man. I hit a fat spot, 175, next spot 113. I'm like, oh my gosh. But
that's funny.
So are you try hard or spinalis? Spinal. I can't say the word.
Spinalis.
Okay. So last year, as I mentioned, I was always mid-pack, so it would always be spinalis. I will say this year I had a couple of tri-hots. Out of the 6 tri-hots, hots. I don't pronounce my R's if you haven't noticed. I'll work on that for the next show. But truthfully, the last 5 out of 6 spinalises, I placed 5th and even 1st place with a tri-hot. Out of 5 out of the 6 I placed with, I just never get them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So hold on, say that again. I lost you there entirely.
So usually I get the back of the pick. So I always get spinalis. So I might as well go with 2 spinalises and try to have the same steak to see, your practice steak.
Absolutely.
But lately this year I've been having to get some lower picks that gives me a tri-heart, which I've been having success with. So 5 out of the 6 tri-hearts that I have cooked over the past year and a half, I placed in the top 10, which is good.
Jeez, wow. All about that life, aren't you? That's awesome. So I got a question here for you. What are you doing for texture? That's my biggest fear, or my biggest factor that I deal with now in SCA. Now I got my doneness down with the probe, but texture kills me, man. What do you do for texture?
I think texture, depending on what you get, a spinalis or a tri-hot, you have to kind of feel it to see what you got, how much marbline's there, how thick it is. You could jacquard, you could marinate. I mean, there's always the sin if you over marinate, right? Then you end up with a chewier steak. It really, I go by feel, to be honest with you. Even when it's marinating, you give it a little bit of a feel. That's certain. I don't want to say marshmallow. That's a little bit too much, but a little bit more to the touch is what I've been doing. I know it's the big one. Just when you think you have it, it kind of runs away from you. When you look at the last comp, we placed 3rd. My first one, I thought the texture was actually better before I cooked it. And again, I placed 12th. And then the other one, I didn't think it was as good. And I came in 3rd in that steak B.
Right. Rodney said, "Practice what's practice."
Yeah. No, I live by. I don't know if Ralph's on. Rodney said he was on, but Ralph said it. Practice like you play. I will tell you that's the best advice for anybody who didn't hear me on John's show. Is I could tell you guys, if we did 3 steaks this week, it was the exact timelines I use at a competition. This isn't just heating up a grill, throwing a steak, pulling it off at whatever doneness temperature you want. It's really practice like you play. I respect the hell out of Ralph Garrett, Robin, and Rodney's been on fire lately, and God bless him. We're certainly happy for him. But, he's so right with that. If you get down your technique and it becomes muscle memory, right? Everything you do at the same time. Like I said, you light your chocolate at 1/4 past the hour. It isn't 12, 13, or 17. It's 1/4 past the hour. Yep. Everything you do, and it becomes that, it improves your technique, your muscle memory. And again, the hope would be is it translates into a comp. So when I'm in a comp this weekend, I look at Sue, she looks at me, and we pretend that we're on our back deck in peace and harmony cooking a steak and just block out the noise. You know what I mean? Until the steaks are turned in. And of course, you're going to socialize. Of course, you might do a shot. Of course, you might, talk to people and all that. That's all the fun stuff. But, when it's time to cook, it's the best advice I could give is practice like you play, which Ralph Garrett says all the time.
So he was talking about texture. I mean, you were saying in the marinade and things like that. Are you feeling it? I mean, as it's sitting in the marinade and saying, okay, well, I'm done at this point. I feel my texture's there.
Yeah, I think Dave, the answer to your question is yes, you could do that, but you could also look at the steak, right? You need to look at the steak to see how effective, depending on the steak you get and what your marinade process is. If you feel it and actually look at how it's reacting to the marinade, you could pretty much tell, did I marinate it enough? Did I over marinate, right? So there's no exact, in my opinion, you just got to try to pay attention to those details, right? How thick the steak is, how big the spinalis, do you have that big fat line going through the spinalis of the steak? There's a lot of things to consider in there. How much marbling in the steak, at least from my perspective. Other people may have other takes on it, but that's just what I try to do. And it's never perfect, trust me, right? You're never going to come in the top 10 all the time. You're never going to finish first all the time. But the one thing I would like to accomplish this year, and I admire for teams like the Haynes and even the Garretts, is how consistent they are. Anybody can be a one-hit wonder. That was me, a couple years ago when I first started. You get a top 10 call. But to be consistent, my recommendation is take a barbecue champs class. I'm biased to John Lindsay because that's the class I'm probably 80% John Lindsay, truthfully, in my process.
So you're big. You took John Lindsay's class. You guys are Team Arkassippi, and you've preached about his class here, and I took it, changed my life. The next competition. What are you all doing when it comes to the whole the new poncho and lefty side of things? Are you still using the same poncho and lefty? Or have you moved on to Wicked Pigs, which has kind of been the hot
Wicked
spot
Pigs.
right out there now? Wicked Pigs.
Yeah, the thing that I noticed, and I'm sure other people have opinions, is when poncho lefty was in the black bag, it had a smokier, sweeter flavor. Maybe it didn't tenderize as quick, but the new one, just again, in my opinion, it doesn't do much. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. And then when I switched to Wicked Pig, that stuff is, you got to be careful with it. Get away from you.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about that.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I wanted to ask you with that. So, is that, learning how to use that. Did you take Will Collier's class with that as well?
Yeah, I've taken first class.
Or Matt Overson. No, Matt Overson. Sorry, Will. Matt Overson's Wicked Pig.
Yep. Yeah,
I get those two confused all the time.
I've taken, actually, Alan Newton was the first class I ever taken. And it was so nice to meet Alan at the World Championship and have conversation, and really the utmost respect for him. And then from there I took Terry Rohn's class, then John's class, then I believe it was Matt's class, and I took Will's class too. But like I said, I sit with how John Lindsay's class is. And really, as John says in his class, the attention is in the details. Yeah. He says it over and over. You took the class, and that's the recommendations I would give, quite honestly, because it is in the details. It's all the little things that add up. Because as you see between first place, second place, a tenth of a point, and that can make all the difference when you're competing.
Absolutely. So with SCA, there's a whole bunch of different grills out there. And I know you and I have talked about grills at competitions, but talk to me here. What you made a switch from a PK to a PK, and you've got another little toy hiding back there that you've told me about as well. Talk to me about your process as to why you've switched up grills like you have.
Yeah, the regular PKs, great dip grills. There's a ton of people winning on them. I just had trouble controlling it. Even taking even John's class, like I did the same thing, but it got away from me so quick. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, this thing, it heat up pretty quick. So then Steve was next to me with the 360 when that came out. And I said, wow, at least I have a chance, right? I have a few dials here and I could set them without burning myself underneath and burning my
exactly.
fingers.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was simpler, and I could control, like John says, control what you could control. I figured I had a better chance of controlling that. And that's the reason why I went to the 360. And then lo and behold, John used the 360 in his class, and so did Matt. That made it easy for me to transition with that. And then I have the M16. That'll be Sue's grill.
Yeah. Awesome. So what made you go with an M16 instead of another PK? You said about it being simple, and you said that you've learned this 360, and it's clearly doing well for you. What made you go to an M16?
It's actually Mr. Hottie Toddy himself, Mr. Ronald Burns.
Oh, okay.
At the World Champion, I was intrigued by it. I saw Scott McDonald's who had it in our area, but when we went to the World Championship, Ronald introduced me to Travis, and he took me through the grill, and you see some of the teams. It appears it gives it a better color. It cooks a little bit different. So I was really intrigued. So after Ronald took me over there, I was sold hook, line, and sinker. I told Travis I'll have my order in by Wednesday because I know there was a bit of a waiting list. So I did get it. I had it for almost a month now, but I haven't used it because I've been doing fairly decent, at least trying to be more consistent on the PK 360. So I haven't made the jump yet.
Absolutely. Yeah, that makes definitely makes sense. And more control. That's the one thing I've not liked about my PK as well is, like you said, you got to adjust that little bit of underneath of it. And so I'm taking my spatula and go teek 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 in the crap teek 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 teek. And if you use your hand, you're gonna coal falls out and burns you in the finger. And that control in that thing. Those 360s. That'd definitely be nice to have with those for sure. For sure. So we've also, what's that?
I said I like the 360 much better. When you scrape the grates, they don't move, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the Robins and PK ease of use, so they do really well on those regular PKs.
Yeah,
they do, absolutely.
The Haynes crank it out. Raz cranks it out. I mean, there's a ton of people who, God bless them. I'm just not that talented to cook on one, to be honest with you.
I don't know. I haven't had issues with it, but I haven't, been consistent with it. So that might be a little bit of a part of it there as well. But we talked whenever we were up at Terry Hill. More and more people are starting to pop up here with trailers. Are you guys thinking eventually getting a trailer and traveling up and down the East Coast, heading down south a little bit more at all?
Absolutely. Now, what I would say is for the comps around here, I'm not going to take a trailer because, we're challenged, right? Not everywhere could fit a trailer, but certainly, we went down to Georgia. We met Jody Davis and Lori Davis and Maddie Davis, incredible people. And it was cold. I mean, had to be 28 degrees, wind blowing. And of course, as soon as you turn in, it was, the wind stopped, of course, right? So we're looking to go south. I could tell you in October, we're going to go to Grillin' for Labana Children's Hospital in memorial for Mason Keith Burns. So we're looking to do that October 9th, actually, with Ronald Burns, Melissa Burns, and family. So we will travel down there, and we are looking to travel south. But locally, we're not going to take a trailer out. It's easier just to pop it in the truck and pop it up. So
absolutely. Now, once you get a trailer and all, are you all thinking possibly, chasing points across the country, or would you rather just stay here in this local area?
No points chasing. I want to have fun. You know what I mean? Yeah. Where it ends up, it ends up. I just want to be consistent and, try to be a better cook because I'm not there yet. But I got a long way to go. But I'll work towards that, and we'll work towards that together, Sue and I, to try to do that. That's all I care about, and having fun.
Absolutely. Now, part of Team Arkassippi, are you using the Arkassippi combo and all on your KCBS meats as well? You don't have to answer that on camera, but the reason I'm asking you that is because I saw.
Why'd you ask it?
Well, hold on. I saw you using a lot of the product in pictures. Doing brisket. Doing all that kind of stuff with it. Do you try to include that in your KCBS stuff as well? And how's it kind of hit for you?
Yeah, if I go back to KCBS, I certainly would, Jake, because honestly, I'm actually hoping to have BBQ down the beach. That one we'll do. We'll kick out the Jimbo pit.
Talked about so much, they just need to bring it back.
Yeah, they need to bring that. But yes, the answer to your question, I would. I even Jim Hudgens rub too, beef rub. Certainly, I would use that too. And the reason why I really haven't been posting a lot of pictures of food lately, or the Arkassippi food lately, is because I've been practicing so many steaks. But yeah, I certainly would, because I think when you lay those flavors, particularly with the all queued up steak shake and even the hottie toddy AP rub, that's just something different. That's just something special as far as I'm concerned. It's something I think is a base layer on ribs. I haven't yet to try the hottie toddy rib rub or John's rib rub yet, because I just haven't had the time. But certainly it adds a different element. I will tell you, I posted a brisket a while back, Wagyu, and I got to tell you, the flavor on that, using the Arkassippi products was really second to none. I would definitely use that brisket recipe at a KCBS comp.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely something I want to try for sure. Is doing the Arkassippi combo on KCBS meats. I'm curious to see how that would hit with everything, because it's making such a big splash in the SCA. It'd be pretty cool to see there with that.
I'm glad you asked me, though, because a lot of people inbox me, say, Rick, do you really, even before I was on Team Arkassippi, and really, I just truly love the products, let alone being on the team now with such great individuals. I mean, I'm just truly honored, but I do use it. If anybody comes by SCA, you see the 4 bottles there, right? It's the bovine, it's the hottie toddy all-purpose, it's the big red beef, and it's the steak shake. It's sitting on the table. So if you want to come by and see it, it's there. That's what I use. There's no secret.
Absolutely, man. It's good stuff. I mean, same here. You'll see the steak shake. You'll see 38 special, and you'll see Jim Helgen's rub sitting up there with it. So, but no, man. So before, you got the green egg, and that's kind of got you hooked on this thing. Were you into cooking much at all beforehand, before you got into this whole game?
Probably more Italian food, because obviously I'm Italian. I talk funny and stuff, but it's more Italian food. Honestly, it wasn't really grilling. It wasn't really smoking. But once, like I said, I got the green egg, I was really intrigued with the food you could produce. Sue wasn't initially until I took Dan's class, but from
he's a great cook too. You make great.
I try. I don't know.
He loves to cook. That's his passion.
Now I love to cook.
I hear you on that. Awesome. Absolutely. So you're doing New Holland this weekend?
Yes.
Are you coming to Morgantown Friday?
Yes.
Dave's like, there's my gold ticket.
There's my chances. Are the Garretts you guys going to? Man.
Oh, the Garretts are going to be there, dude. I told you.
See, when I signed up, I was like, you know what? Maybe not many people will be there. It's a barbecue cup. And then all of a sudden I see New Holland. I was like, Jake's like, yeah, probably everybody's going to come there Friday and warm up and go to Saturday. I'm like, I'm out. Maybe I had a chance.
Dave, I'll be honest with you. The best thing to see, and we experienced it last Terra Hill actually. When Rodney won his golden ticket and Rolf won his golden ticket. We didn't even know the backstory with Rolf. With the DQ on the first one, and it's so exciting to see. And in my opinion, that's the difference. No matter who gets a call, no matter who walks, I could tell you from there's only my perspective and Sue's perspective. You're truly happy for the people who walk. When I see Brian Wolf walk a second time in 2 comps, he plays 7th. I went up and hugged him. Yeah. Right? When you see Nate get his, ancillary, place in ancillary, and you see him get a 6th place call, I think I hugged him too. I think he thought I was a little weird, but I hugged him too. I'm just so proud of him. And that's the feeling you get, like with SCA. And that's what I love about it, right? Whether you're Ralph Garrett and you're getting your 7th win like you did last year, or Robin, right? Honestly, you're just truly happy. And guess what? It's reciprocal. Ralph Garrett was the first person to come up to me to give me a hug at Lafayette when I won a golden ticket. Yeah. And it just says a lot about the SCA family in general. Okay. You look at the Haynes. The only thing with the Haynes, we hope no more of their children get married, because they compete as a family, and I've never seen anything like it. Hats off to them. I love them. They're an incredible family. 5 of them compete. 5 of them get a top 10 call. What's better than that, right? But again,
the competition's going.
Yeah, but you're so proud of them, right? You say you're truly happy, and that's the thing in the SCA family. Honestly, and hopefully you hear it in my voice, it's a passion of, I just love it. I just love the SCA family, and I love all of this.
Oh yeah, I mean, going to the competitions and stuff. It's just a group of people. I mean, it's just fantastic. I mean, when Jake and I came to Greencastle to Mason Dixon, I mean, I'm like, hey guys, come over here. You're just like, hey, you know what I mean? It's just you roll. I mean, it's just you feel welcome with everybody. I mean, you just walk around, you chat. I mean, it's a whole different environment. I mean, it is. I love it. I don't do as many as I want, but it's it's great.
And everyone's walking around. Everyone's able to have a good time and socialize and carry on, which, I mean, you being extremely familiar with the KCBS, everyone's in the trailer and everyone's focused head down, like, working. It's not, no one's out here, bringing Raz dogs to you, halfway through turn-in times.
That's my favorite.
No one's doing that. It's heads down. Hey, see you at the 922 or the 707, or if not, I'll see you at Cook's meeting, and then I'll see you at awards. That's kind of how what's turning into, versus SCA, where Raz is carrying around the hot dogs. I got a timeline, take a hot dog. I got a timeline, take a hot dog. In everyone's face.
There is nobody with a bigger heart than Raz, and honestly, I consider him as my friend and brother. I talked to him tonight. We said we'll talk Thursday night. We have the old, hey, what are you going with? I'm like the usual. I'm going with the Arkassippi combo, Raz. What are you going with? We have, it's just, but he's got such a heart of gold, and he's such a great person. We just love him. We just love him up, and he's just incredible.
Fantastic guy.
Dave, I think Jim just made a shot at us. He said, "Try to borrow butter at a barbecue event." We forgot butter at Interstate, and so Dave just goes over and asks Jim if he's like, "Can we borrow a thing of butter?" Yeah. So he comes back with a thing of butter, and then I'm like, "We need a pan to put it in." So he goes, he gets a pan to put it in, and he goes, "We need a brush." So he goes over and borrows a brush, and it's just a whole big spiel.
Hey,
Dave, I can't laugh at you because at the World Championship, we're setting up, and I said to Sue, "Where's the butter?" It was up in the hotel room. So thank God to Nate Martin. Nate, if you're on, thank you. I owe you a quarter stick of butter. Yeah. He gave me a stick of butter, so it happened to me too.
Yeah. It's just one of them. Oh, then Jake was like, "I'll get it." I'm like, "Okay, cool." Let me get there. I'm like, "Jake, you get the butter?" He's like,
"Shoot, man, no, I didn't."
He's like, as I'm at the gas station, I'm like, "Yeah, they're gonna sell good butter at a gas station." Like, come on, like,
it's sheets.
I was like, "No, they don't have it." But thank you, Big Jim. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we both got calls on it, so thank you, Jim.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely did. So
we made the butter proud.
Yeah, let's get another stick of butter from you, please. So, we've talked about, Jim and John and Ron and Jim as well. Outside of those three, who would you look up to most in the barbecue world, barbecue or SCA world? Who do you look up to in those?
I think when you talk about barbecue, and he probably doesn't even know it, but I'm going to say it. I don't know if he's watching, but in barbecue, honestly, I think Childs is a unique individual, and he doesn't get enough credit for what he does.
Mm-hmm.
I think the thing about Childs is, I was in a class where Freddie Robles and Luke had a class. I was in there with Childs, and Sue and I got to know him a little bit more. And any question I ever had, he always answered. You got to admire him and what he does each competition. He helps more people and doesn't get enough credit for it. Because quite honestly, I don't know. You never know what to expect, guys. I don't know.
It's a live show, man. We don't know what's going on.
Childs would be the person in this area, honestly, that I would really look up to. He probably doesn't even know I feel this way, but he's just a real ambassador for the KCBS sport, in my opinion.
Nice. Great dude.
And as far as SCA, I know you said Nata, but it's certainly John and Ron.
Absolutely,
two incredible individuals. I might be biased, but they seem like family, and they're just incredible people. The whole family, and I'm blessed, and Sue's blessed, and we're both blessed. And like I said, I certainly look up to both of them.
Awesome. Absolutely, for sure. So, wow, man, we've covered quite a bit here in these last little bit here. Dave, what are some of the old questions we can hit them with? Man, we're a little stale after season 2. Like, I'm running out of things to even talk about. I see you guys every weekend, and I feel like we talk quite a bit, and I feel awkward just asking the questions I already know the answers to.
All right, how about this one? If there's any teams who are thinking of doing SCA, Rick, what do you recommend they should do?
All right. What do you recommend they should do?
I'll ask and answer my own question.
Sounds great.
So here's what I would do, truthfully. I would look to take an online class or a class, perfect that class, develop your own routine, build your technique, build your muscle memory, practice like you play, like Rolf says. And lo and behold, you will find yourself dramatically reducing the learning curve, less frustration, and success long term. That would probably be the best advice I would give anybody.
Absolutely. That's good advice.
Definitely.
That's really great advice. So I got something we can do here real quick with that too. We can give away this seasoning a rub.
Okay.
And I already got a good question here for it because they've already talked about it. And the person that we talked about with is not allowed to answer it. Where did Rick and Sue get their first SCA call? So the first person to comment that, we're going to send him a bottle of Jim Hudgens rub. So where did Rick and Sue get their first SCA call?
Let's see
who does it. Speaking, while we wait for this, I saw Manny at Ron Templeton got it. Bam, Lafayette. Gary Zimmerman.
David, a steak cook-off. Bingo, you got it.
Good job, Dave. That's what we call him, not so famous Dave. Gary, get with me after this, man, and we'll get you sent a bottle of Jim Hudgens steak rub for sure. That was quick.
Unless he's going to be at Gary, you're going to be. Was he going to be at whatchamacallit? Gary, you're going to be at Morgantown?
Yeah, Gary, if you're going to be at Morgantown, we'll get Dave will get you some of his stash.
Hi, Angel. Oh, Angel's on late. Dang, missed the show.
Yeah, man, I got to make sure I have this one to iTunes. Gary, if you're going to get with me, if you're going to be at Morgantown, though, you can get with Dave, and he'll hook you with some rub as well. That was pretty daggone quick to answer that.
Good. Glad people are paying attention. I like that.
I know. It was awesome. It's nice to see people involved.
Jake, is that the Arkassippi combo back there, the bovine and the big red beef?
Yeah, man. I got the bovine delight. I got the big red beef sitting here.
Look how full they are. That means he doesn't use them.
It's because I've been using other things that have been really well for me too. I like the 38 special, and that might be why, getting these in my seasoning would probably be in my lineup would probably help me out quite a bit. I've also been saving these, and I got to make an order to boost your barbecue for some as well. But yeah, man, that's the big red and the bovine bowl here. Oh, it smells so good. It smells really good. So, all right. Well, I'm turned to where we're huffing rubs. No, he's busy this week, and I'll see us in another one.
All right.
Okay. We'll get you. All right. Well, Rick, Susan, thank you so much for coming on here. Where can people follow you and check you all out online?
Well, I have the Rick Manzi, but then I have AnonymousQ, barbecue and competition, SCA cook team, little Facebook site. And then there is a website too. I don't know why I built it, but I just built it to show where I'm competing and past results and some recipes, of course, using the Arkassippi combo. So,
yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll make sure people follow you out on there. But with that being said, we'll let you guys get prepped up for this weekend at New Holland.
Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I'll see you guys this weekend.
All right, Dave.
Dave's like, yeah, I'll see you guys this weekend. He's like, I was hoping to see no one.
As much as I love you guys,
Dave, a lot of memories in that trailer.
I know. If the walls could talk, it would be fantastic.
I'm sure be terrified.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wow, they just logged right off there. Okay. So, all right. Well, great people. Absolutely
great people. Absolutely.
We need to come up with questions. A lot more questions than that.
What's that? Angel, she was teaching a class. What kind of class
No, teaching? she's repping. She's repping down in Mannington. Yeah, Mannington.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So, well, should we tell you who we have next week on, or should we let that wait?
No, we got Uncle Urkel.
Uncle Urkel. We're getting him away from the gas station.
Yes, we're pulling him away from the gas station. Uncle Pigs will be on next week. Sorry, not weekend.
Next week, yes. Man.
Uncle Urkel will be on next week, so stay tuned for that.
Maybe we'll even tell the story of how Urkel and I met.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be a great story.
That'd be a great story. I'm not telling how Urkel and I met. But no, guys, we appreciate you all for watching. And we will see you all next week with Urkel of Uncle Pig's Barbecue Pit.
Maybe we'll have some results from this past competition too. So
that's right, Dave. You are competing this weekend. We can talk about that a second. You're going up to where is this at?
Morgantown, yeah. Twin Valley Fire and Smoke. So looking forward. Me and Pops get to cook again after the wonderful COVID kind of slowed things down, but Dad's in it now, so
this is going to be your first, their first competition since the Shazama Man timeline.
Yes.
You think you'll be able to hold up with it?
I hope so. I have to. If I don't, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you just won. You just did good last time because Jake was there."
Jake was there. That's right. Shazama Man.
So I gotta bring my A game.
You gotta compete better this time.
Look, David. Yeah, David, what time you going? You never got back to me. He messaged me. He was like, what time you getting there? I messaged him. He never got back.
I'll tell you what, man. He'd be a hoot to hang out with. Park beside there. I've cooked with David before. It's a lot of fun.
It's a good. I like Twin Valley. It's a nice nice area.
I've never been there.
It's a nice. I like the back parking lot. It's nice layout, everything like that. So we'll see. I'm excited. I'm always excited to compete. So period.
You got everything all prepped up?
Nope.
Sounds like it. Team Shazam, my man. Man, you're not gonna have me doing your chicken this time either.
What? David's coming in Thursday night? Savage. I'll be there probably about 9:30. I think I'm going to get there. But
Friday morning.
Now I got the chicken done. Ribs are done. I got to do all the rubs.
You did the ribs already?
I had a few minutes today because tomorrow is going to be a long day and at work. So I just figured ribs are easy to go out there. So I just did them, redid them, or vacuum seal them.
And tomorrow's sauce and
injections.
Yep.
And I might just trim brisket and pork Thursday.
Yeah, with that new setup, you should definitely think about doing them soon. You don't want to do too much work while you're there.
No, I'll have everything prepped just before. I'll probably do it Thursday though. Depends what time I get done work tomorrow. If I get done work tomorrow, and I can do all the rubs and injections, it doesn't take me that long. So maybe I'll just do that and then trim the brisket and stuff.
Shout out to Michael Faye for helping with the Shazam Man lineup.
Yeah, it's
timeline.
We'll see what happens this weekend. I'm excited.
I'm telling you, man. I think you're gonna be okay to do it by yourself.
I hope it pays.
But don't worry, I'll be there. I'll be there at Delta to help you out with the next one. And then Dirty Boots, and then the American Royal.
Yes. I can't wait for American Royal. I actually got to sign up for that. I got to do that next week. But we'll be in. Jake, I'll get you your porta potty too, Jake.
Sounds great. We're gonna go live so much while we're there. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I'll be like a kid in a candy store.
Absolutely. So, all right, y'all. Well, we're gonna wrap up here, and we will see you all next week with Uncle Pigs, everyone's favorite Uncle Urkel, and we'll catch you all next week.
See y'all this week.